So we were on part 4 of our discussion about power consolidation across various aspects of American society. And today we're going to talk about the criminal justice system and those who make money from incarceration. Hi, my name is Brian Kennedy. I'm the mayor of Glendale, Wisconsin, president of Democratic Municipal Officials, and a member of the DNC. Follow me for local government and Democratic Party content. While the United States is not the largest country in the world, we are certainly the largest imprisoner in the world. There is no other country that puts as many people behind bars as the United States. We have over 2 million people currently in detention in either federal facilities, state facilities, or local jails across the country. And that doesn't take into account the nearly 80,000 people currently sitting in ICE detention centers awaiting hearings or deportation. So the United States has a long history of locking people up. And I want to talk today about the economic benefits of locking people up. Who's making money off of this system? Because I'll tell you right now, it's not the American taxpayer. So if you have somebody who has not committed a significant offense where they're a danger to society, but you take them and lock them up, what you take is somebody who is making money, working in the economy, paying taxes, and instead put them in prison where we are now spending $30,000 to $70,000 a year to house that person, to feed that person, to provide medical care to that individual. So the offside here isn't just the cost of imprisoning somebody, it's the cost that is lost of them being out in our economy. And why is that number so high? Why does it cost so much per prisoner to house prisoners in our jails and prisons? Well, a lot of it has to do with third-party companies that are making money off of the criminal justice system. We're talking about bail bondsmen who make money making sure somebody's going to show up to court. We are talking about companies that provide services to people who are incarcerated. If you want to call home, your call home isn't just picking up a phone. It's usually a $5 or a $10 or a $15 charge for as little as 5 to 10 minutes of time talking to your loved one. Video conferencing also is third-partied out. Commissaries in many prisons, where prisoners who have some money to spend and want to buy some things that they can have at their disposal while they're in prison, those commissaries are often third-partied out. And how do people make money in prison? Well, many of them are part of contracted services. So prisoners are utilized as essentially a form of slave labor to companies that are making products, usually simple products that don't require a significant amount of skill, or providing services like laundry or food preparation or things of that nature. And they're utilizing prisoners who are often making as little as 25 cents an hour. That's essentially utilizing prisoners as slave labor. And we have a lot of companies that are making money at various aspects across this criminal justice system. And I haven't even mentioned yet the private prisons, who are often being paid in many states to construct and then run the prisons that house many inmates in a number of states across the country. So there's a whole industry with wealthy lobbyists who are lobbying Congress to keep policies as they are, because they would rather lock people up so that these private companies can make money than actually utilize people within an economy. So we now spend $500 billion a year as a country to lock people up. And much of that money is being funneled to these large companies that are getting rich off of incarceration. So at what point do we as a country decide that there are alternatives that are better ways to do this? How do we actually start looking at ways to rehabilitate people and to help keep them in society? Most of the people who are serving time right now don't need to be there. They're not a danger to themselves or to others. They are there because we have a criminal justice system that finds it important to people have to serve time. Well, how about serving time by being forced to work a job, pay taxes, support themselves, support their family, pay restitution to their victims, all while being closely monitored by the courts? That would be a far more effective way, a far cheaper way for us as a country to be able to facilitate rehabilitation. You see, many people who spend significant time being locked up have a very high recidivism rate. It means they get out of jail, they reoffend, and they go back into jail because they don't see a path forward. And so what we need to do is create pathways for people to remain in society, pay restitution for what they have done, and then be able to become productive citizens and move on past the time they've served their sentence. Incarceration is really only the answer for a small percentage of people who are currently behind bars and for the large companies making money off of incarceration. It's time that we as a society begin to start looking at our pocketbooks, looking at the bottom line, and coming up with alternatives that make better sense.